Hi everyone, it's Amanda. Today I'm going to be doing a recent reads and I'm very excited because this one has some bangers. The first book I want to talk about is So Not Meant to Be by Meghan Quinn. This is a Harry Met Sally inspired rom-com. It's very much on the rom-com scale. Like, it's all the way into the cringiness. I warned you, but I was in the mood for something like this. It has some cringy and cheesy moments, but it also is funny. It had me cackling on the couch. It's enemies to lovers, forced proximity, just everything we love, and it's hilarious. I really was dying laughing at some of these scenes, especially the teabag scene. But basically in this one, we follow Kelsey. She is the sister of the character we've met in the previous book. She owns a company for sustainability and organization, and in the previous book, she had pitched it to Kane Enterprises, who are the group of brothers who are billionaires, who are the love interests. So our love interest in this one, his name's Jonah, JP, and he is everything. So he is known to be a playboy. He's not into commitment, and he just doesn't want it. He has had a traumatic childhood and he says, no ma'am, that's not for me. So Kelsey, on the other hand, she is really into love. She has her own podcast that goes over meet cutes and she's just looking for love. JP is always flirting with her on the job and she is fed up. She is sick of his shenanigans, but they do have an attraction there and there's just a bunch of cute moments and dates. They end up in San Francisco for a work event and they have to share a penthouse, and there we have jealousy, forced proximity, we have some good steam. Holy shit, I was literally sweating. So pick this up if you're in the mood for a funny rom-com that has the steam. You might need some ice. And of course I rated this 5 stars. Next we have Something Wilder by Christina. This is a second chance romance that takes place in a wild west. And it was okay. I didn't love it. I liked it. I gave it 3.5 stars. In this one we follow Lily and Leo. Leo is her long lost love from 10 years ago. They were chilling at her ranch with the horses for a whole summer when he gets a call that his mom is sick. So he leaves and he promises her that he'll come back, but he never does, and she is heartbroken. Fast forward 10 years, she has lost her ranch, which was her dream, and now she's running a treasure hunting exploration game type thing where she can earn some money to hopefully win back her ranch. So one day, Leo and his colleagues all do this trip every year, and this year they're going to this treasure hunting thing that she runs without knowing obviously that she is the person running it. They have to rehash their past and go through this whole adventure, and things go very wrong. So I felt like this one had romance on the back burner. It really felt like an adventure story, and it felt like the relationship between Lily and her dad was more important than the relationship between Leo and Lily. And I liked seeing the dad's secrets get revealed as we went on, but it just felt like the romance wasn't strong enough in this one. I didn't feel connected to their story because of that. I felt like the puzzles and the adventure was really the thing sticking out in this book, which might not be a bad thing. You might really love that part of it. I liked it, and there were times where my heart was racing and I was like, yeah, get across the river, but I did feel like the romance was lacking in this one. Next we have The Half Orcs Maiden Bride by Dixon. This is a monster romance that is pretty short. It is only 190 pages and it was super fun. I personally rated this one 4 stars, and I know that was common among the group. So we all were in agreement that this one was a solid choice. So in this one we follow Ianthe, I think that's how you say it, and she gets sold by her father to a half-orc lord, and she always thought she wasn't gonna get married because she's super tall and broad, and I guess in this world you simply aren't desirable if you're just a little tall. But anyway, she doesn't know she's getting married to a half-orc, so she's basically deceived by her father, and then she meets him. Things go down and it's steamy and cute, and the monster in this one is a cinnamon roll. So if you're into that, definitely give this one a go. Next we have one of my new favorite series ever, and that's the Plated Prisoners series. Oh my god, I am so obsessed with this series right now. I'm in the middle of Gleam as we speak. So today we're going to talk about Gild and Glint, but oh my god, I haven't been this obsessed with a fantasy romance series since I was probably like 16. I shit you not. Like, this is what acotar should be. In my opinion, I freaking love it. This one I rated 3.5. I wasn't feeling it that much. I was feeling like the women on women hate in this one was kind of overwhelming me, and I didn't know the point of the story. But now I get it. Now that I've read the rest and I'm in the middle of the third, I get why this one is a great introduction to the series. So if I reread this, I would probably rate it higher just because I know what its purpose was, but it felt more like a prequel. So in this first book, we follow Arryn and King Midas. Those are the main characters in this one. In the other books, we have more characters come into play. In this one, we have no romance yet, which I was kind of shocked by because everyone says this is such a good romance series, but I get it now. I got it and I'm on board. But this one really sets you up to fall in love with Arryn as a main character. She has had a really hard childhood growing up, and she thinks that King Midas has saved her and is protecting her by keeping her in a cage, a literal cage. She's a prisoner to this cage, and she thinks that it's all fine and dandy, and really she's being manipulated and abused, and she doesn't come to terms with that. She has Stockholm syndrome. So this one really just sets the stage at how gruesome her life is right now. And then we have Glint, which I rated 5 stars. So good. I really recommend this series. If you like acotar, I feel like you will really love this series because it's just a bit darker, but it has the same type of romance in it and the like I'll save you from him vibes. So I really love that about it. So yeah, I'm in the middle of Gleam, which is probably my favorite in the series so far. Next we have Diver's Heart by K.A. Knight. This one was very interesting. It's a reverse harem and it's very unique and original in plot. I ended up rating it 3 stars because it did get repetitive in plot and in smut, just like Den of Vipers did for me. But I really loved the first half of this. The last half just fell so short. In this one we follow Peyton, who is a professional diver. She had been in a relationship with Tyler for a really long time, and he asked her to marry him, and she says no because she's in love with the group of 4 guys that they've dove with their whole lives. So he has 2 best friends and a brother. She had kissed the brother already and been in love with him, and then she just felt like she couldn't do that to him anymore, so she left him. But now they're going to reconnect because there's a new mission for her to go on, and it turns out that the team that she's meeting up with is them. So their mission is to explore this cave that has never been explored before and map it out. So very interesting premise, and it's very hot, very original, and I loved the like adventure part of it as well. But towards the last 50%, I was just like, where is this going and why is it being so repetitive? It was like she got stuck in this tavern, and then she got stuck in something else, and then she got stuck in something else, and then boom, there's like bats in the cave, and then there's just a lot of chaos. I don't know. It just got repetitive and it was too long again. I felt like if you took their smut scene and you put no names on it and then you compared all 4, you wouldn't see any difference. You wouldn't be able to tell what guy in the harem she was, you know, getting down with. And I feel like that's the thing we love about reverse harem, is when you can really differentiate between the people and they all give her something else, and you as the reader also get something else with it. I didn't love it, but it was hot. 3 stars. Then we have Deceived by the Gargoyles by Lillian Lark. This one I read a while ago. I just forgot to put it on my last recent reads. It is another monster romance, but it is reverse harem this time, and it follows a girl who gets into this relationship with a gargoyle, but she doesn't know about the other 2 mates that he has. So she gets intertwined with them, and they all have a relationship eventually. There's a subplot of like a little bit of a stalker vibe going on, but all in all, it's a smutty good time. I rated it 4 stars. Then we have a complete fantasy, Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. This one was really atmospheric and just really immersed you into this fantasy world, which is what I wanted when I was reading it. So I rated this one 4 stars. I thought it was really good. In this one we follow Mara. She's on a mission to kill the prince because he is abusing her sister and just keeps trying to impregnate her, and really does abuse her physically and mentally. So she wants to to kill him. So to do this, she goes to a dust wife who is basically a witch, and the witch tells her that she needs to make a dog out of bones, sew a cloak of nettles, and capture moonlight in a jar. So these are all impossible tasks, but she first manages to make Bone Dog, who is a character, and he comes to life. They end up going on this mission together because she does fulfill all the tasks, and on the way to kill a prince, they come across some more characters. So it ends up being 4 people on this mission, and it's just a really fun take on a fairy tale. I really enjoyed myself reading this. The writing was amazing. It reminded me a little bit of the YA author that wrote House of Salt and Sorrow's writing. So if you've read that one, you might want to give this one a shot. It has a very dark tone to it, and I think this author actually does write some horror too, so that makes sense. So those are the books that I've read recently. Leave a comment below your favorite book that you've read recently, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!